Hello kitties, Steve here, the OG Guitar Nut. Gonna do a little odds and sods here, a little recap of what we've been doing lately, what I intend to do in the future, and to wish you a happy holiday if you celebrate any of the holidays this month. The last, 10 days, I've done a pedal review nearly every day, mostly Delamo pedals. Half of which wound up not working and the other half were just disappointing. But we did find one thing that was a real gem, and that was the Moval Cosmic Thing Distortion, which was just killer. I've already had a couple of people message me that they're going to buy one, and I can't say I blame you. Mine's great. I'm going to continue to do nearly daily pedal reviews till I've gone through all my pedals, which should easily get us through, probably nearly the summer. Longtime fan of the show and viewer, Bal, made a suggestion that, I've already done all the bottom feeding cheap pedals. Well, not all of them, but I've mostly done those. How about I do a review demo of my most expensive pedal? And that's an interesting idea. The only problem is I bought it a couple of months back, and I haven't really had a chance to dig into it too much yet. Well, what is it? Let's talk about that. My most expensive pedal is the Hologram Electronics Chroma Console. This thing is supposed to be the history of tape-based recording in a pedal, and it's pretty darn deep. It does all sorts of things, and it was expensive, but I had just sold a guitar for a real nice profit, and I'd seen a couple of videos myself on that thing and thought, well, I need that, but I haven't really had time to play with it. So Bal and anyone else who's interested, let me play with it a little bit, so I can give you a decent review, and I'll do that. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, also, speaking of pedals, I've mentioned this before, but it's pretty exciting to me. Everyone's favorite, I guess some would call them pirates. Some would just call them opportunists. Behringer. They've decided to go in full bore into replicating some of the most rare and expensive pedals that people have ever wanted. And I'm pretty excited about it. I'll be honest with you, I've got every one of them on order. Every one they've announced so far. None are available yet. Well, some apparently in the UK you can get them or something, but I don't know, through Andertons or Tomon or something. But I ordered mine through my man at Sweetwater, and he says he'll give them to me as soon as they get them. But what they are is, among other things, I'll just tell you all of them. They've got keep in mind, these are all metal enclosures, all slightly smaller than the original versions, more pedal board friendly, but supposedly are practically component by component clones of the real deal. They've got their copy of the Klon Centaur, which they're just calling the Centaur Overdrive. Their version of the Tone Bender Fuzz, which they're calling the Fuzz Bender. That's a legendary pedal for everyone from, all the early 60s guys had one apparently, and Jimmy Page made them famous and whatever. So I've got both of those ordered. They have a 69 Vibe, they're calling it, which is a remake of the Univibe, which of course Hendrix and Robin Trower made very famous. Great sounding, it's supposed to kind of replicate a rotating speaker. It's really just kind of a phaser that's operated on some kind of a photoelectric principle. They just sound really great. And the thing that has me by far the most excited is their reissue of the rare and excessively pricey bass Brassmaster pedal, which is an octave and fuzz that was made famous, among other things, by Paul Barker on all the Ministry albums he was on. He uses on his bass. It also makes a ridiculously good guitar fuzz, especially if you're into the Doom thing like I am, and well, I just can't wait to get a hold of one. So Behringer, and apparently there's even more coming yet, so let's just see, you know. If there are, I'll probably order the new ones too. Oh, and did I mention, they're all selling for like $69, which is just, it's unheard of. It's kind of ridiculous. Only Behringer, honestly, only Behringer could pull this off. Okay, so while we're already in inexpensive pedal land, let me preface this next bit by mentioning that I have very many reasons to love living in Nashville. Not the least of which is the ridiculous amount of gear that's available for sale at any given time down here. In the average day, this is the truth, your average day on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, more new items get listed in a day here than get listed in an entire month up in Chicago. And Chicago is a much bigger city and much bigger geographic area that Craigslist covers by far. But we have more stuff here in a day than they have in a month. It's amazing. To that end, yesterday I made a little drive up to Madison, a half-hour drive there and back, well, each way, so that I could pick up, now these aren't cleaned up yet, so just bear with it, this lovely 1970-ish Maestro MPS2 mini phase pedal. This is the real deal. Can you see that? Built in Chicago. How about that? For Norland Music, which of course, guys that owned Gibson at the time, I got this mini phase, plus this lovely made in Germany Schaller Fußschwelle, which is a foot volume control. Schaller Electronics. You see that? Yeah. Both these pedals and three rather nice George L cables. If you're not familiar with George L, his cables they're solderless and supposed to be crazy high quality. And Eric Johnson uses George L cables. Regardless, I got both those pedals and those cables. The whole thing is a package for basically the price of a bag of Taco Bell for two people. Not to put too fine a line on it, all it took was my good friend Andrew Jackson, and that was mine. To give you an idea of just what the Maestro pedal's going for, I'll show you some recent sales on Reverb here. Score, right? You know, those of you that were around last year and saw when I scored the 1955 Dan Electro guitar, as well as two other guitars, for $100 for the entire trio, will remember, you know, stuff's out there, especially down here. And you got to be pretty fast on the draw to get to it before me. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm curious, would any of you out there like to see a demo of that Maestro pedal, the mini phase? If you would, say something below in the comments. I can always do, and in case you're curious, yes, it works. I've tried it out. And honestly, it sounds a little like a Univibe, which is pretty damn cool. So I mentioned everything I needed to mention about pedals. Let me check my list here on the phone. Let's see, Delamo, most expensive pedal, Behringer, and my marketplace finds. Yeah, okay, so what I've got coming up. I have 2 guitars ordered that I'm going to be doing unboxings of. And one of which I'm going to use for what I'm going to call the Budget Doom Starter Pack video, where I'm going to take a couple of inexpensive pedals, an inexpensive amp, a couple of inexpensive guitars, and show you out there who might be interested in dipping your toe into the whole doom music genre. That includes stoner, that includes sludge, and I guess it would even include drone, but I have to be honest with you, drone is kind of lost on me. I've tried to listen to Sun, or as some call them, Sun O. I don't get it, but hey, to each their own. So yeah, I have oh, and also the guitar that I'm holding is going to be part of that Doom Stoner pack. This is a rather lovely 2007 Epiphone Les Paul Studio, full thickness. Honestly, this is a great guitar. Found this in a pawn shop yesterday, as a matter of fact, and it was cheap, and I brought it home, and it's going to be part of the Doom Starter Pack budget video, and whichever order you want to put those words in. So if you're interested in that, if this Doom thing, it's consumed me. If you're into it, then I want to hear about it. I'm going to definitely do this episode, but if you want to know more, hear more about Doom related stuff, let me know below. If you think Doom is lame, mention that below. If you think Sun is the greatest thing since sliced bread and the wheel, mention that below. I'm curious about all these things. For that matter, tell me what interesting finds you've made in your area on Craigslist and Marketplace. Mention that below, because that could start an interesting conversation. Give me your thoughts on Behringer. I know the company, very divisive. It seems to me like you either love Behringer for what they do, or you hate and resent them for being rip-off artists, or whatever you want to call it. Mention that below. I'm curious. Maybe I'll do one of those polls, the YouTube polls, where you can vote. Is, Behringer the coolest thing ever, or the biggest ripoff? I'm curious to see what numbers which way it would skew towards. But yeah, and of course, as usual, I want to know your thoughts on other topics for new episodes, things you'd like me to cover, things you'd like me never to cover again. A lot of you have already been very vocal, however you want to put it, about the fact you never want to see me wear my kimono robe again. So that's the kind of thing I need to hear. I need to know that. I hadn't planned to anyway. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go back and take a look at the book review thing I did last year. Guitar books review. I think it was just Rickenbacker guitar books review. And, well, it is what it is. But yeah, let me know. What are you into? What do you want to see? What do you want to hear more about? What else would you like to see me purchase in the future? I'll tell you right now, I've kind of got a hankering for one of these Firefly double necks, the 12 and 6 string jobs. They look like slightly offset Gibson double necks, and they're normally $3.99. Right now they're on sale for $3.19 at Guitars Garden. If you want to go look at guitarsgarden.com, they're about the only thing that's available right now from there. Everything else is sold out. I've owned 4 Firefly guitars now, and every one of them has been really, really good for the money. No complaint. In fact, this 6-string bass over here, this is one of my Fireflies. Yeah, every one of them has been great, so I have no reason to think these double necks wouldn't be great also. If you support that idea, you want to see me buy a double neck and review it, mention that below. Maybe I'll do that. Got to sell a couple of things, but there's plenty around here that I could part with. Plenty I don't want to part with also, but that's neither here nor there. So anyway, I've rambled enough. Leave your comments below, whatever they be. suggestions, rude rebukes, whatever it is. Mention it down below. And of course, if you're so inclined, you like and subscribe. We still consistently get, far more views of some of my videos than we have subscribers. Although we are up to 1,245 subscribers last time I checked, so that's pretty sweet. Nice little community we got here, right? So anyway, till I talk to you next, have a happy holidays if you're into that, like I said. Also, stay cool, stay frosty. Don't take any wooden nickels unless you collect them. Be good to yourself and others. And play your damn guitar. Dig? All right. Steve out. Till next time.